Are you in a place in your life where you're living with a lot of regrets? You know, looking back and thinking your life would be so much better if you had only made a couple of different decisions. And you're wondering, how can you get your life back on track? If so, you're in the right place. I'm Amy, and this is another aha moment. So this one is really interesting and occurred to me when I was reading a book called The Midnight Library. And it was fascinating. You know, how many times do you make a decision and when you look back you think, oh man, if only I had made a different decision. You know, that my life would be so much better if I hadn't done that thing or if I had done that thing. And so often we were like, man, we always make bad decisions. Well, I'm here to tell you that nobody makes a bad decision. Nobody goes into a decision saying, what is the worst thing that I can possibly do to myself? And that's what I'm going to do. We all go into decisions making the best one that we can with the information we have at the time the decision needs to be made. Only when we have more information or have a different perspective can we look back on the decisions and decide if you think they were good or bad. So this book was fascinating because it was a story about a woman who had made a lot of decisions throughout her life. Whether it was to stop competitive swimming or to not do a music deal with her brother and some music label, or oh my gosh, she just had one after the other, not to do something with a really good friend of hers and moved to another country. And so when she was looking back, she was in a really bad place at this point. And she was like, my life sucks. And she decided to end her life. Now, in the story, instead of ending her life, she goes to this in-between stage where she meets a woman who she knew when she was growing up that is a librarian. And she's in this library. And the librarian gives her the opportunity, after she looks at all the regrets that she has, she opens a book and she sees all the regrets that she has. The regret that she called off her wedding, however long, I can't remember if it was a couple of weeks or a couple of days before the wedding, or all of these other decisions she had made, and she feels that her life is a disaster or not in a good place because of those. Even her cat. She had a cat that was outside, and right before she decided to end her life, someone came and said they found her cat dead in the street. And she was like, man, if only I was a better cat owner. And so at this library, she's given the opportunity to go back and see what it would be like if she had made the decision differently. Now go with me here. This was so mind-blowing, so mind-blowing. So I'll give you one of the examples. She decides she's going to go back and be a better cat owner. So that she opens this book and she, she goes back in time and she's able to make the decision differently. But what happened? It wasn't that she was a bad cat owner. When she went back, her cat had still passed, but now the cat was inside. And she came back to the library afterwards and said, why? Why did my cat have to die? And she said, because it was her time. The reason your cat died and was out in the street was not because it was hit by a car. Your cat died and was out in the middle of the street because she died there. It was her time and she didn't want to die in front of you. And so regardless of you thinking you're a good cat owner or a bad cat owner, it was still her time to go. And when she had that perspective, the regret went away. Because if you have insight into something, sometimes it sheds a little bit of a different light on it, a different perspective, and you get to see it differently. So if you're living in a place where you're looking back at your decisions and you're living with regret, please know that number one, you made the best decision you could with the information you had at the time you needed to make that decision. And number two, if you were to go back in time and change that decision, chances are it wouldn't have turned out the way you expected. And with that, I hope this gives you some perspective and some relief and the abilities to move forward and not keep looking backward and realize that you're living your best life. And if you don't feel like you are, you're only one decision away from a totally different life. Decide today to take a different direction. And with that, I hope that this aha moment has positively and greatly impacted you as it has me. And if so, let me know. Give me a comment below. Hit that thumbs up or like button and subscribe to my channel. If you hit that bell icon, you'll get notified the next time I upload a video. And if you know someone that would really benefit, that is stuck in the regret phase, please share this with them. And I look forward to seeing you on another aha moment real soon. Take care.